Hey guys, it's Shara from Woodshop Diaries, and in today's video, I'm sharing with you how I built this simple dresser. So if you remember, I told you back earlier this summer that I was starting a matching bedroom furniture series. Obviously, it wasn't a back-to-back series because I started with the bed first a couple months ago. Then I built several other projects, and then we came back and built the nightstands, and then I did several more projects, and then now we're back with the final part of the series, the dresser. If you followed along for very long, you know that dressers are my absolute favorite thing to build, but normally my dressers are pretty big. So all the ones in the past have been like upwards of 60 inches-ish long, which is a pretty big dresser. So for this one, I scaled things back just a little to build a smaller dresser, and I kept things incredibly simple. I've got the printable plans for this project linked in the description below, but if you're ready to see how it all came together in this video, let's go. This video is sponsored by the Home Depot as part of the Prospective program. You've seen me using this Ryobi 18V ONE+ HP drill and driver for a while now in almost every video. So it's nothing new to see me using it again here in this project, but maybe you've wondered why it's my go-to. If you aren't familiar with what the HP stands for, in the newer Ryobi tools, it's high performance. These brushless tools are designed with advanced technology to provide longer battery life and longer motor life without sacrificing performance. This drill and driver combo is part of the compact HP series, so they're significantly lighter weight and smaller than their previous versions, but with noticeably more power. And if you're already on the Ryobi ONE+ 18V battery platform, these HP tools work with those same batteries, so you can upgrade the tool without having to worry about having to get new batteries. You may also notice in this video that I upgraded my older Ryobi circular saw to the newer HP version as well, and I've got it set up on my cutting guides, so I'll definitely be putting it to good use on lots of future projects cutting down my plywood sheets. I'll link these Ryobi HP tools along with all the other tools that you see throughout the video in the description below so you can check them out. Alright, now let's dive into this build. I originally planned to build this project from my usual plywood and some 2x material, and that's definitely an option if you wanted to go that route. That's actually what I built the bed and the nightstands from. However, after I cut down my plywood, I noticed that the color difference between the 2x2s and the plywood was pretty far off, and since I had planned to leave this natural color, I just wasn't feeling it. So I actually think that I probably have enough white oak left from my glass door cabinet project that I can make this dresser from. All I really need is the top, the sides, and then like the drawer fronts. And I think there's enough here. My plywood and 2x2s didn't match, but here, my white oak and my legs aren't gonna match. The legs are definitely a different type of wood. With that though, I'm actually gonna stain the oak with a white stain color, so it'll lighten it up, and then I won't stain the legs. So maybe by the time that I stain that and then I don't stain the legs, maybe they'll match a little bit closer. I know that I said this project was for my matching guest room series, but long story short, I'm actually not using this particular dresser in my guest room, so it's totally fine with me that the wood type and the color doesn't match the other pieces. I figured I might as well use up the rest of this oak and get it out of my floor. So to get started, since these were all 1x6s, I glued up enough lumber that I could cut the top and the 2 side panels from. After the glue had dried, I trimmed down my panels to final size using my new circular saw and my Craig cutting guides. Now, I was working with 1x material, so to get the 2x2s that I used for the legs, I needed to trim down several strips to glue up. I ripped these to about 1 3/4 inches wide so that after they were trimmed down and glued up, I could run them through the table saw to clean up the edges and cut down to a true 1.5 inch square to make a 2x2. I sanded the legs and the side panels smooth, then drilled 3/4 inch pocket holes along the edges of the side panels to assemble. Then I simply just screwed the panels between the corner legs to make 2 identical sides. Also, since this was oak, I used fine threaded pocket hole screws for assembly. Now, I was cutting it pretty close to have enough oak lumber to complete the build, so I tried to use the oak sparingly where possible, so for the rest of the dresser frame, I just used 1x2s instead of 2x2s. With this oak, this was fine. However, if you're using pine, I definitely recommend going with 2x2s for these frame pieces. I cut 4 1x2s and assembled them between the side panels at each corner using pocket holes and screws. Okay, so we've got the frame here built, and I need to attach the feet onto the bottom, but the feet have these little threaded rods in them, so I need to install a threaded insert to attach them to, or I could use those like little plates that you can screw onto something and screw them in, but I'm gonna use threaded inserts because that's what I have. I don't have anything in the dresser bottom here to screw the threaded insert into, so I'm gonna put some like scrap blocks, because these are just like scrap blocks to install the threaded insert into. I'm gonna use pine because there's no sense in wasting like good oak wood, and I'm running on limited oak anyway, so I'm trying to conserve as much of it as I can. I just used some scrap 1x4 I had in the shop and cut to fit between the front and the back 1x2s and installed using pocket holes and screws. This will just give me somewhere to install the threaded inserts to screw the feet into. I measured and marked about 2 inches in from each edge and drilled out a hole at these marks. I made these holes slightly smaller than the threaded inserts, and then I just installed them into the holes. I'll link the exact feet that I used for this in the video description. I really like these feet. I used them on the previous matching nightstand and the bed, but every now and then the threaded insert is screwed in a little too far and you have to back it out a little for them to have enough like threads to bite into the inserts. But I just used some pliers to back these out a little. Side note, when I used to work in the factory, I'd keep this exact pair of pliers and a long Phillips screwdriver in my back pocket everywhere I went because those two tools were all you needed to fix like 99% of the problems on the plant floor. Anyway, once all the inserts were installed and the feet were screwed in, I moved on to adding the drawer dividers and the drawer slides. For the drawer dividers, I simply cut 2 more 1x2s and installed into the frame using pocket holes and screws. Now you can divide these however you'd like, but I made the top drawer opening about 4 inches tall and then divided the bottom 2 drawers evenly. You could switch it up and do 1 shallow drawer at the top and 1 deep drawer at the bottom, 3 evenly sized drawers, whatever. Once these dividers were in place, I added the drawer slides. I installed 16-inch ball bearing drawer slides in each opening so that the bottom of the slide was just above where I placed the dividers. I installed these 1-inch inset from the front edge to allow for an inset drawer front later. Now, normally for inset drawer fronts using 3/4 inch material, I would install 3/4 inch inset and not a full inch, so that the drawer front would be flush to the frame once installed. However, in this case, I actually inset the drawer an extra 1/4 inch just so that when I install the drawer front later, it will also be inset a 1/4 inch just to add some extra dimension. Now, I didn't build the drawer boxes from oak since I was using it as sparingly as possible. For these, I just used 3/4 inch plywood. I used what scraps I could find in my shop because my scrap pile is out of control, and I trimmed down the pieces to build 2 deep and 1 shallow drawer box. Much like you've seen in many of my past videos, I cut a 1/4 inch dado into the drawer box pieces about a 1/2 inch up from the bottom edge to install a 1/4 inch plywood bottom panel. Before assembling, I applied iron-on edge banding to the tops of the pieces to hide the plies. This is, again, totally optional, but it makes it look a little cleaner, so I like to add it. Then I assembled the boxes using pocket holes and screws and installed the 1/4 inch plywood bottom into the dados before adding the last piece. I installed the drawer boxes into the slides using 1/4 inch plywood on the bottom of the drawer as a spacer block. There are so many ways to install drawers, but I just find installing them directly onto the slides in the cabinet to be the easiest way for me. I installed the first 2 screws on each side, then removed the drawer from the slides to install the last screws at the back. Then I slid them back in place. I glued up and trimmed down 3 oak drawer fronts. These were 1/4 inch smaller than the openings in the height and 1/4 inch smaller in width as well. That way I can install them with an 1/8 inch gap around all sides. I prefer to do this before adding the top so that I can easily access the inside of the drawers to install. You can use playing cards or scrap wood to shim it up and screw it in, but I find it just as easy to just eyeball it and either clamp or hold it in place while you drive the screws. I installed the top drawer front first, then removed the drawer and worked my way down to the bottom. Before installing the drawers back into the dresser, I added the top. I had already glued up the top panel earlier, but now I trimmed it down to final size and sanded it smooth. To attach this top, I used figure-8 clips. I used a 5/8 inch Forstner bit to drill a shallow hole in several places around the top of the dresser frame so that these clips could sit into them and be flush across the top. I tried to drill close enough to the inside so that the clips would have room to swivel, and I used a chisel to cut out the corners if they couldn't swivel. The whole point is that they are able to kind of rotate back and forth. Then I screwed these in place. I flipped the dresser over on the top, centered it, then screwed the other side of the clips into the top panel. After flipping it back over, I put the drawers back in and it was almost done. To finish this off, I cut and glued some 1x2 trim on the sides at the top and bottom. I just used some quick dry wood glue and clamped it in place for a minute or 2. However, you could also just use some brad nails. If you've seen many of my previous dresser builds, you know that I rarely add backs to my dressers. You can call me crazy, that's fine, but it's just a pet peeve that I've had from past experiences. You can certainly add a back panel onto this if you'd like, but I just didn't add one here. So the final step was to just apply finish. On my last build, I used a clear coat on the oak and it was pretty, but I had kind of wanted to play around with some white stain on it to see what it looked like. So I tried that on this build. I applied a white oil-based stain, and while this isn't like your typical darker wood stains in that it didn't actually turn the wood white, it did soak into the wood grain here to kind of highlight it. I actually really like how it turned the green white while leaving a lot of the natural wood color. I'll definitely be trying this again in the future. Anyway, after it was stained, I applied a clear coat, then I measured out and drilled some holes to add these simple black knobs, and it was finished. Clearly, you can see this was a really simple build, but it turned out exactly how I had wanted. Simple, yet classy. I think this is my favorite part of the matching furniture series, but really, dressers are kind of always my favorite. I hope you enjoyed watching this come to life as much as I enjoyed building it, and if you'd like to build your own, don't forget to grab the building plans linked below. If you can't wait to see what's next, be sure to subscribe to the channel for all of the latest projects and videos coming soon. Thanks so much for watching, friends, and until next time, happy building!